Hello you guys and welcome back to Couch Cow. Now, did I take a break from this podcast for way too long? Yes, and I apologize, okay? I'm sorry. I stopped posting in general, okay? And that's on me. That's my bad, okay? First, before we even get into all of it, I just want to say, I hope you guys like the little setup. I thought it'd be cute. Okay, I was going to do a little setup, a little podcast setup over here where I was sitting in a chair. And then I didn't like the angle and it just didn't feel right. So I was like, you know what? Let's move to the bed. The bed, you guys get to see my little bed setup, all my cute little stuffed animals. Maybe I should have made it look a little bit more prettier for you guys, but come on guys. It's me. It's me. You know, I just thought this would be a cute little setup. I've got all my little stuffed animals. You know, do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? Be honest with me. Do you hate it? Do you hate it? I'm gonna need you to be honest. Okay? We're gonna do this audio right now, okay? Here's the whole spiel for the first episode back. We're gonna sit here and talk, and I'm gonna give you some background on me and how this podcast is gonna work and everything. And then we'll get into I'll do one little story time for today. Hold on, I'm gonna move a pillow over here while I'm talking because my little cat, Cepheus, is right here. And it would be cute if he's in the video. But I don't know if he'll move over here. And I don't want it to be over there because I don't want it to be uneven. You know, I think this is pretty evened out. So, we'll see if he wants to make a special appearance. But it is good to be back to the podcast. I've been debating it for a couple months now if I wanted to bring it back. You know, whatever. I'm deciding, should I go and close the door right there? Can you guys see that? Can you guys see that? That's my bathroom. If there's an emoji or a little drawing over this, or I'm zoomed in a little closer, it's because I realized I didn't like the way that looked right there. But from what I'm seeing, it's fine. But anyway, my name is Mackenzie. If you haven't watched any of my videos, this is the first thing you're watching of me. Hello. I'm gonna we're keeping Couch Cow, okay? We're keeping it. Okay? We're keeping it. But I'm gonna completely act like I think I'm gonna do episode 1. It's gonna be season 2, episode 1. I don't know. We'll decide whenever I post it, okay? This is technically a trial episode, so if you're seeing this, it means it went well, okay? But my name's Mackenzie. I am 24. I just turned 24 in May. I live in Indiana. If you guys care, I'm a Taurus, which you probably know because I just said I turned 24 in May. I'm a Taurus. Technically I have 3 cats, but technically I have 5. 3 of them are mine, 2 of them are my mom's. I live with my mom. I still live with my mom and my brother, but this is my house now. It was my mom's house. It is now my house. It's in my name, everything. It's now my house, so technically they live with me. My brother hasn't moved out yet. It'll happen soon. My brother is 27, I believe. I don't know. I also have a sister. She's 26, I'm pretty sure. Or she's turning 26 this year. Guys, I'm really bad with this, okay? I'm really bad with names. I'm really bad with all of it. But, yes, I live with my mom and my brother and my 5 cats. This one right here, which you could kind of see him, and I'm going to have to organize my bed a little bit better in a way that I know he'll want to lay with us, because I do think it'd be really cute if he sat right here. while I did these episodes. But you can't see his favorite spot's to sleep right here. He changes it up, but whatever. The cat you see right here, his name is Cepheus. Okay. The other cats are, I'll go in order. So Cepheus is the oldest. The next we have Malachi Tux. Oh wait, okay. This is Cepheus Reed. Cepheus from like Tom Felton, Draco Malfoy, Dragon. It's like they all Dragon and like Cepheus and Malfoy like all like apparently mean the same thing. I might be wrong. I didn't research it too much. I just kind of like looked it up and I saw the name Cepheus and I was like, that is so cute. It's a constellation, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, that's Cepheus Reed. Reed after Spencer Reed, obviously. Okay. You got that, okay? Next is Malachi Tux. He is a tuxedo cat, if you couldn't tell. Malachi, because it's a cute name, and then Tux, because he's a tuxedo. Okay? Him and Cepheus are both 6, I think. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure. Or they're either 6 and turning... They're either 7 or they're 6. I don't know. And then next we have Gracie, who's also my cat. Gracie is all gray. She's a long-haired cat. So is Cepheus. Malachi's short-haired. Gracie, long-haired. She is either 5 or 6. She's 1 year younger than those two, okay? I'm sorry. I really should know that. I forget, okay? But I have a little Gracie. She was my first cat. Okay? And then next we have Cleo Jade. Oh, it's Gracie May, by the way. I didn't say her middle name. Gracie because she's a great cat, and May because that was a dog that we had. That was her middle name, and I wanted her to have the same middle name as the dog. Then we have Cleo Jade. Cleo Jade is my mom's. Cleo because Cleo, and Jade because it's a pretty color. It's the color of her collar, but she doesn't wear a collar, but whatever. Cleo is a year younger than Gracie. And then last, but certainly not least, we have Perseus Reed. Perseus from Percy Jackson. Reed, Spencer Reed. He's also mine. He is a long-haired, what is it called? I don't even know. Calico, maybe? Cleo's a tortie, a diluted tortie. I think Perseus is a calico, but I might be wrong. He's long-haired, and he's also huge. He's the youngest. He's about 2 or 3. I think he's 3, I'm pretty sure. And Cleo's 4, so I think that makes Gracie 5 and the other 6. Again, I don't know. But we think he's part Maine Coon because he's big. Okay? Whatever. But yeah, I live with all of them. My brother, his name is Timothy, so if I ever mention a person named Timothy, I'm talking about my brother. And if I'm mentioning Alexis, I'm talking about my sister, okay? We also have my grandpa. So if I'm talking about grandpa, I'm going to say grandpa, obviously. And we have my mom. My mom is like, kind of like my bestie, you know? Yeah. She's my bestie. She also lives with me. But that's all the people in my family. And then also, kind of in my family, is my friend Larkin. So if I ever mention a girl named Larkin, it's my friend. I have known her since middle school, 6th grade. So it's been about like 13 years, I'm pretty sure. We've known each other since we were like 11. Love her. Never had we've never had an actual serious fight ever. But that's my friend Larkin. We're the same age. She's about to turn 24 in like a few days. So that's her. If I'm ever saying Larkin, I'm talking about her, okay? Yeah. I work night shift. I work at a place near where I live, and I work security there. I'm not going to give you any details about that, but I work night shift. I work Monday. Sorry, guys. I hope I don't have the hiccups. That'd be terrible. First podcast episode, I have the hiccups. Okay, great. I work night shift on Monday through Friday, so I technically get off of work at Saturday, 6 a.m., and I start work Monday at 10 p.m. And I work like 8-hour shifts those days, whatever. So that's what I do. I mean, I'm trying to think of like what other stuff there's to say about me to like give you an introduction to myself. And that's really all I can think about. I'll tell you my interests later because I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Yes, in this episode. But a little insight into what we're going to do on this podcast. This, like I said, is like an introduction, like letting you know about me, letting you know about the podcast. And then I'll give a little story time at the end just because whatever. But it's going to be a little bit different because in this podcast, I plan on talking about literally everything that comes to my mind. But also, I did do this before where I listened to an album I never listened to before and then reviewed it. So I think I'm going to still do that in here. And I don't think I'm going to go fully into detail. I used to like fully go into detail about like every song. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to yap too much in order to do that. But we'll still listen to the song and the album, and then we'll still do that in the previous and the next episodes, whatever. So that's what you have to look forward to. I am a reader. I like to read a lot. I used to read a lot more than I do now. Last year I read, I think, 150 books. Pretty sure, something like that, something crazy like that. And so I used to have a lot more books to talk about in the podcast. I unfortunately do not have that. So, but anytime I finish a book, I will sit here and I will give you a review of it in the podcast episode. These podcast episodes are going to be recorded one weekend, posted the next weekend. So these will be a week after. You'll see it a week after whatever. You get what I mean, okay? But I like to read, I like music, so we're gonna be talking about that stuff, okay? Another thing is, I am obsessed with buying trinkets, and I think you guys should know that now. I know I have a problem. I have a big, huge problem with it. So I'm probably gonna talk about trinkets every now and then. I need help, honestly. I need to be stopped, but I can't be stopped. So I thought I should open up with you guys now while we're here, just so you get an idea, okay? So that if I start yapping about Sunny Angels for like 5 podcasts in a row, you know why, okay? I have a problem. Some of the shows I like Criminal Minds, obviously. I like Pretty Little Liars, Grey's Anatomy, Teen Wolf, Friends. I think that's all I could think of right now. My favorite movies are like the Barbie movie. I like some of the Star Wars. That's Hayden Christensen, if you can't tell. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. Don't try and quiz me on Star Wars. I don't know that much, but whatever. I like Hayden Christensen. I like Anakin Skywalker, okay? That's about all I know. So, call me a fake fan all you want. That's okay. What other movies? I like some Disney movies, but like I'm not a Disney adult. I don't like all of the Disney movies, but I like Tangled, Moana, Coco. Those are like some of my top movies. All the Jurassic Worlds and Jurassic Parks. I love those. I like shark movies. Want me a shark movie? Hey. I think those are like my main movies that I have to talk about for you. My info. Another thing I think I should talk about, and tell you guys now, I love Taylor Swift. So if you don't like Taylor Swift, I don't know if you'll like this. Or if you, not even if you don't like her, but if you get annoyed when people talk about Taylor Swift, this probably won't be the podcast for you. I'm sorry. I talk about Taylor Swift quite a lot, and it's gonna happen. I just realized you can see her right here, so like, unless you don't know that's Taylor Swift, you'll know that I like Taylor Swift. So I like Taylor Swift. I'm gonna be talking about her a lot. Okay, I like One Direction. The main things the main like music I like is Taylor Swift. So like, I have a problem where like I'm like trying to think of like other people I listen to and like, and all I can think about is Taylor Swift. So yeah, I like Taylor Swift. As you can tell, I like cows. What's another thing about me? I'm vegetarian. I've tried to be vegetarian many times in my life, and I mean in my adulthood, and I failed every time. But this is the farthest I've gotten. The farthest I got before this was a month. I'm now on the 6th month being vegetarian, and I'm honestly, normally I'm like dreading it, and I'm like, this is terrible, but I'm actually doing great. Like, I'm perfectly fine. So I'm very proud of myself for that. Another thing you should know is I don't have my driver's license yet. Yeah, I've had my permit for like a year and a half, something like that. It's really bad. I need to get my driver's license ASAP. I'm driving, I'm learning. I had a huge fear of driving. I finally got over that, but still, we're working through it. So, I don't have my driver's license. Yeah, I'm single. Hey, that's another thing I'll probably talk about. Single, never been in a serious relationship. And, hey, maybe next episode I'll tell you about the one relationship I was in, because that could be a whole other story time, okay? And I don't think I should get into that now, because like, I just met you guys, some of you guys. I just met you and I should not be talking about that right now, okay? So stay tuned. Maybe next episode I'll talk about my relationship I've been in, okay? Okay? But I've never been in a serious relationship, okay? Never, ever, ever. I am very much a single girl. And it happened for all my life, so, well, not all my life. Again, the relationship I was in. Yeah. Yeah. That's like a story time where I'm like, I openly, I'm not like ashamed to say it, but at the same time, I tell people, I'm jokingly like, this is my big secret. Like, it's embarrassing for me to admit, but I'll still tell you it. Like, I know that it's like a little bit like embarrassing, okay? I know that. Anyway, I will tell that story in the next one. I thought for today I will tell you the story about a surgery I've had, because that's fun and it's an interesting fact about me. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I'm just realizing it's actually perfect that I'm wearing this shirt, because I'll tell you in a minute why it's perfect whenever I tell you my story time. But yes, we'll get into the story time in a little bit. I promise you, okay? First, I thought I should introduce you to her. So I'm probably going to be holding her every podcast episode. Her name is Diana. And a little fun fact, and maybe I'll also talk about this a little bit. Trigger warning. Here's your trigger warning now. I don't know how much you could talk about on this. I was not wanting to be here for a little bit. Wanting to skedaddle. And so and I attempted to skedaddle, if you get what I mean. So this I bought myself on my 21st birthday, I believe. You made it. You know what I mean? And her name is Diana. She used to sing the song Diana by One Direction, because when I say that song saved my life, I literally mean it. And without that song, I truly believe I would not be alive. And if you think that's dumb, that's okay. One Direction it was like the only thing that made me happy for a while, and that song in particular helped me a lot. And so she used to play the song Diana, but hence her name Diana, but doesn't work anymore. And I'm not sure how to fix that. So I'm sure there's like a little like place that you undo her and you can put a battery in it or whatever. But I'm not going to do that to her. We're just going to leave her be, okay? Because I didn't use this for a while because it randomly would turn on all the time. And it annoyed the crap out of me. It really did. So, yes. Another thing I think you guys should know is I like purses. And I like to yap about purses. So I'm also probably going to yap about purses every now and then. I'm a girl, you know. I'm probably always going to have my purse of the day sitting right here next to me when I do my little vlogs. You can see one of my little sunny angels. 2 of them. So that'll probably always be sitting right there. Again, the goal, one of my goals for this podcast, for the next one, is I want to have Cepheus in frame for the whole podcast. That's another thing I was going to mention is I have 5 cats, okay? I have one that's in this room with me 24/7. He might get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of this. He might get in frame and like mess with me in the middle of this. He might make noise in the middle of one of these podcasts. And I'm sorry, you guys are just gonna have to deal with it. I might try and like get around it, but sometimes he's doing that for like 40 minutes. So I'm like, I'm just gonna keep recording, you know? So, sorry. You guys are gonna have to deal with it. Another thing is I have ADHD. I always forget, you know? I should probably mention that. And if you can't tell by now, okay, cool. I have ADHD, meaning I did not for today because I wanted this to be truly like just getting everything out, yapping, okay? I will make my stuff a little bit more structured, but at the end of the day, I don't love a planned video, you know? Like, I like a planned video every now and then, but I don't like a specifically planned video, so I'm just gonna have topic points probably for future podcast episodes, but for the most part, I'm just gonna be sitting here yapping, okay? Because a topic point might just be a little story time, and I'm not gonna plan out the story time. I'm just gonna sit here and tell you guys. So because I have ADHD, I have to tell you now, sometimes I go off on little tangents about other things, or I forget what I'm talking about, and I like don't finish what I was saying. I might have already done it like 3 times this podcast episode, and we're only like 20 minutes in, and I'm sorry. That's just okay. I have a problem. Okay, I don't take medicine for it. Another thing I've mentioned before on this channel, I have asthma. It's better than it used to be. I take medicine now, but if you ever hear me wheezing or huffing and puffing, it's because I'm having a really bad asthma day. Some days. That was my Febreze. That you might also hear that every now and then. But some days it's worse than others, and sometimes I can't like get it to go away. It's especially bad in certain times of the year. Right now it's not that bad. I'm on medicine. It's helping. Whatever. So I want to let you guys know now. Give me some grace, okay? I understand I'm a big girl, but it's not just because I'm big. I have asthma. I've had asthma my whole life. It's a problem, okay? So have some grace. Before you go down in the comments and you comment, oh my God, she's so fat she can't even breathe. Just keep in mind, I am fat, but also I do have like actual like issues that I've had since I was born. And I haven't been fat my whole life. It was worse when I was younger too. So keep that in mind before you put your little comment down below. Maybe you already commented that, and maybe you continue to watch anyway to see if there's anything else you wanted to comment. And you're reading this, you're listening to this and you're reading a comment and you're going, oh. Right, okay, so just keep that in mind next time. But, yes, another thing I will say is I most of the time don't care what I look like. I care a little bit, but like, I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna probably be like, laughing and doing my thing. And sometimes maybe I won't even put on makeup, or I'll be in pajamas or whatever, and I'm gonna look ugly probably for most of it, okay? Not every day we look great. Not every angle we look great. You know, I'm probably gonna look ugly in some of this, and you guys are just gonna, I don't care really, so you guys are gonna get to see that, you know? And if you don't like that, again, you don't have to watch. I understand. I understand completely. Okay? Now, lengthwise for these podcast episodes, I'm trying to get a idea on how long I want these podcasts to be. Ideally longer than an hour. Do I want it to be an hour or do I want it to be longer? That's what I'm trying to decide. Because if you guys watch my actual videos, I do daily vlogs almost every day. So hey, if you're watching this and you like what you see, you can go watch my vlogs as well. It's basically the same thing. And yeah, those videos from one day vlogging sometimes can get pretty long. I have one that's literally like an hour and 30 minutes. So we'll see. We'll see, because I could make these pretty long, but I don't want them to be too long to where you guys are bored, you know what I mean? But next, let's finally get to the story time, because if I don't get to the story time, I'm just going to continue yapping and yapping and yapping. So, for today, the story time is going to be about the surgery I got, and also Harry Styles is going to be mentioned. So, why don't you sit down for a second and think, how can a surgery she got be connected to Harry Styles? And you're never going to guess why it's connected to Harry Styles. But I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you how it is connected to Harry Styles. And this is your warning now. If surgeries or whatever, blood, whatever, blah, 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 makes you queasy or whatever, this is your trigger warning. Maybe don't watch this episode and I'll catch you in the next one. I'm not going to talk about stuff like this all the time, but I thought it'd be nice for the first video. I've been talking about it in my vlogs for a little bit, and I was like, oh guys, if you want a story time, I can tell you a story time, blah, 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 blah. And so I figured, first podcast episode, it'd be great to tell the story time. So why don't you guys comment down below your guesses on how Harry Styles is connected to my surgery. And we'll see if someone gets it right, okay? Okay, so sorry if it changed at all. I went up and took a potty break real quick so we can get this story time going. So first, we're going to cut all the way to about 24 years ago. And I was a little baby. Baby, right? I was born with a cleft palate, okay? Not only was I born with a cleft palate, I was born with the underbite. Right? Yeah, underbite. And so my mouth was all messed up. My heart was defective. Everything. I was born too early, I think. So I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna try and be as best I can with describing things, but I am not no doctor. I don't know things, okay? So whatever. I should know because it's literally me. It happened to, but whatever. I was born with all kinds of problems. So literally since the time I was in well, first I got some kind of surgery for it when I was a baby to fix the cleft palate, I think, because something happened, and then there was tell you a quick little story time. I'm how much should I say about my dad in these, but it's my story, so whatever. I got a surgery when I was a baby, and I was too young to even eat chips, but my dad, after it, fed me a chip, and so I had a hole in the roof of my mouth. So, I've had that, my whole life, whatever. And then, fast forward, 3rd grade or something, I started going to the orthodontist and getting stuff done to my teeth. So, since I was 3, I was getting stuff done with my teeth. So that's whenever, if someone mentions my, yellow teeth or whatever, of course I'm a little insecure, but, when someone mentions my yellow teeth, I'm like, guys, my teeth have been messed with since I was 3. I've always had some kind of something in my mouth, so, and I had really bad mental health, so God forbid my mouth is a little bit yellow because I didn't brush my teeth for a little bit, or I didn't brush them correctly. Sorry, like literally, I had an unstable childhood, okay? Like for real, like come on. But yeah, so since I was like 3, I remember going and getting stuff done. Not 3, 3rd grade or like 4th grade. But I remember getting stuff done. Like, oh my gosh, guys. This is not, okay. The main story time was the surgery I got later, but like, I'm gonna tell you, I like to yap. You guys, I told you that. So if I'm gonna tell this story time, I might as well tell the other story times. So, I was getting like retainers, all kinds of different ones. I once got like a wire like retainer put in. Again, this is still elementary school. I got like a wire retainer put in once that like was like metal all through like whatever, and like it was like, ow. Whatever. And then like 4th grade, I think it was 5th grade or something, I learned that I was probably gonna have to start wearing a face mask. Yeah, a face mask. I never know if I'm gonna like edit these videos, like add pictures or anything, so I don't know if I'm gonna include a picture of anything in here, but I was told I was gonna have to start wearing a face mask. This face mask is essentially, okay, take off your glasses. Okay, it's 2 blue ovals, a plastic right here, and like a wire going like crooked, like curve over my face, and then a wire connected to that, metal connected to that, going over my mouth like this, and then you hook plastic little rubber bands to it, and you hook it into hooks in your mouth, and like that's what I was told I'd have to wear, and we thought that meant I had to wear it 24/7. Besides, obviously, like, well, no, even whenever I slept. We thought I had to wear it 24/7, so I'm not playing. My mom came to school. And luckily, these are people that I had known literally my whole life already, like, school-wise. My mom came to school and did a whole thing saying, oh, she's gonna have to be wearing this face mask. So you guys need to learn compassion and not be mean about it. Basically like hey, she's about to look dumb, don't bully her kind of thing. Like telling them like, hey, this is why she has to have it done. This is why she has to wear it. She can't help it. So don't make fun of her, or like you're a bad person, you know? And a full on presentation. I'm talking like she was there for like an hour. It was like a whole thing. I don't know. And come to find out, I do have to end up wearing it. It's terrible. Oh my gosh, I'll get into that in a second. Come to find out, you only have to wear it when you sleep. So my mom did all that for nothing, and I was like, oh. I was like, hey, at least I didn't have to wear it to school, but still, that was embarrassing that my mom came and had to tell them not to bully me because I'm about to have a face mask on. Anyway, but I ended up having to wear the face mask. Had to wear it to sleep, and it was like plastic and then like a little thing of like rubber to place that's like under it, that's like on your skin, and it irritated my chin so bad in my forehead, and there would be lines on it, and like it just felt like it was like giving me acne, which it didn't, but like it irritated my skin so bad. And then I had to wear it every night, and literally you have to like I said, take little plastic rubber bands and connect, you know, like rubber bands you use for braces, you have to connect it to like a little wire, and sometimes they like pop off and they would smack my lip so hard, and I normally had to have like people help me because it's kind of hard to do, and it was like no matter if I went over to someone's house, whatever, I had to wear it. And you know, that was kind of embarrassing. I have a photo of it. I'm not gonna sit here and show you a photo of it. Yeah, so I had to have that, and then proceed on. I have to have more stuff, retainers, blah 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 blah. I had to have one that was like, and this was the worst one. I had to have one that was like, I'm trying to explain it. Like, there's permanent wire retainers that are like just against your teeth, like in the bottom or on the upper part. This was kind of like that. It was like popped in and like put into where like it was completely formed against my teeth, so it stayed 24/7. And it was like a wire in my mouth, so it'd like be like on the roof of my mouth. It was like a whole bunch of wires, and it was a whole thing to like fix my gap, because I had a really bad gap as well. And when I tell you, it scarred my tongue. Like, I literally have a scar on my tongue because of it. It cut my tongue up so bad. It would hurt all the time. And I truly mean that. Like, all the time, my tongue would be hurting when I had that thing on. It was so annoying. So painful. That's why also, again, 7 comments on my teeth or whatever. I'm like, shut up. Like, guys, I've been through a lot, okay? My teeth, I've been through a lot, okay? But yeah, it was just like, oh my gosh, it hurt so bad. And then skip forward a little bit more. I had braces. Yep, had braces for like 6 years or something, like 4, 6, something like that. Yeah, graduated with braces and everything. But one of the braces I had, which most of them are, is like little normal braces, and then it has little like hooks that come out on top of the braces. And guys, one time something happened and it got loose or something, and for a while my mouth was hurting so bad and I had no idea why. And I'll also to say this, anytime I went to the orthodontist, it was 3 hours away, because I went to a certain one because I got it all for free. I got all of my stuff done for free by like Medicare or whatever. And so we had to go to a certain place, and it was 3 or 4 hours away. So like it wasn't a quick appointment that I could just book. And they're pretty busy too, so like you have to plan out the appointments, right? Like any orthodontist, dentist, whatever. So I couldn't just like go immediately, so I had to wait till my next appointment. But it hurt so bad. Come to find out, it broke somehow, or it bent, and it went into my gum. This metal, like kind of like a spike, went into my gum. It was in my gum, poking me and moving around, and that's why my gum hurt so freaking bad. Cause I was like, what is this? And I just didn't like think about it. And then, yeah, and they had to like literally like cut my gum open to get it out. Yep, okay. Fast forward even later, okay. Still got my brace. Yeah, braces, yeah. Still had my braces. For years, I think maybe even before I got my braces, we had to talk to our orthodontist. Orthodontist had to talk to me, and they were telling me, hey, that our end goal, I had known this for like so many years, our end goal will be with surgery. So I knew for years I was gonna get this surgery, okay? I'm talking like a long time, and like a little bit before we had to like have another conversation. It was like, you're sure you want to get the surgery? Because they were like, well, I didn't have to have the surgery, but it was like, this is what our end goal is to get the surgery. So they had another talk saying like, hey, do you want this surgery? And like I had to like think about it for a while. And the thing was like, I think they said if you don't get the surgery now, it might cause problems later on, because I had an underbite that was like so severe, whatever. It was like it might cause problems with your jaw later on whenever you get older. And so like the best thing is to get it done now. And again, everything was paid for. So in my head, I was like, yeah. Also, I knew I would probably look better once I got the surgery. So I was again like, yeah. And I was like, I don't want to have to deal with any problems like at all. And I want to look better. So I got the surgery, but they told me in order to get the surgery, I needed to get my wisdom teeth done because obviously they're about to like move my whole other thing. They needed to just go ahead and take my wisdom teeth out now, so that way I don't have to worry about it later. So they also had to take out one tooth for space. So I have a tooth missing right here for space, and then they had to take out my wisdom teeth. And then this was like when we were getting closer to like my teeth being like straight and like my gap gone. My gap wasn't completely gone until like the last like year or so. And so towards the end they were like, okay, we need to do these things. And like it was like, get your wisdom teeth taken out, get this tooth taken out, whatever, and then we'll plan your surgery. The surgery is jaw reconstruction surgery. This surgery, guys, I was like kind of scared for. They break your jaw, I'll tell you, okay? They break your jaw. Mine was an underbite, so they broke, I think they did it different. It was like a weird thing where they were doing it a different way. So they didn't actually, I don't think they actually moved this. I think they moved my upper. I'm not 100% sure, but they break your jaw and they move it and then they put screws in it. And so that's what they did. I no longer have an underbite. My face is a little uneven. I'll get into all of that after, but like they break your jaw, they put screws in it, whatever. You don't have an underbite anymore. And so I was a little scared for it because one, they're breaking my jaw. That's kind of scary. I was like very scared about that. Two, the recovery. I knew this recovery was going to be bad. So first, we'll get into the surgery and then I'll talk about recovery and all of this stuff after. But so we were scheduling this. So I got my wisdom teeth taken out like only like few months before I got the surgery. So I go get my wisdom. I'm scared for the wisdom teeth too. I don't like needles. That's why I don't get anything done with my teeth now. I hate needles going anywhere, especially if it's going near my face. I can't do it. I tried recently. I tried like 2 years ago and I freaked out. I can't do it. I need to be put under for it. But luckily wisdom teeth you get put under, so it wasn't that big a deal. But whatever. I was still scared. And literally, like a month or so before this wisdom tooth appointment, I hear Harry Styles is going on tour. We're gonna start getting into Harry Styles now, because I told you, he's connected, okay? He's connected. So, I hear Harry Styles is going on tour, and I'm like, Harry Styles was my man back then, okay? Hayden's my man now. Harry Styles was my man for like 10 years. And I was like, oh my god, he's going on tour. And I wanted those tickets so badly, and I was told, hey, my grandpa was gonna pay for them. My grandpa did not end up paying for them, my mom did. That's the whole thing, like, he forgot, and so my mom was like, I'll buy him. So, I hear Harry Styles going on tour, and I'm like, yes! The day they go on sale, my wisdom tooth day. So, we booked this wisdom tooth appointment, right? It's like a spring break or something like that. And so we booked this appointment, sitting in the parking lot. I think maybe it was a consultant day or whatever it's called. Maybe it wasn't the actual appointment day, I can't remember. But sitting in the parking lot, got Harry Styles pit tickets. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna see Harry Styles in the pit. I'm finna be in the pit. Like, I'm finna be in the pit, like, you know? So, gosh. Whenever that whole thing was happening, by the way, I was like, girl, I was in the pit, okay? I finna already be in the pit, you know? But, so, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get see Harry Styles. Get my wisdom teeth taken out. That was like, puffy. My face didn't even feel that puffy, but like the pain after, I like totally wasn't expecting. I heard about it being painful, and I was like, oh, that's scary. But then nothing happened, and then finally when I tried to eat the first time, I was like, oh, this is what y'all mean. Oh, I understand now. Okay. Keep in mind, I knew I was gonna get jaw surgery soon, so I was like, oh god. Oh gosh. So we get to scheduling the jaw surgery, okay? Literally, I have to get it in summer because you'll hear why. I have to get it in summer. The only day they had available soon enough was my last day of junior year, I think. Or, no, it was not junior year. I always forget. No, it was sophomore year, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I really should know that. Either one is my last day. And I was like, crap. We were like, what are we gonna do? I was like, we're gonna have to like ask. And a little side note, like I said, I was for a while, and so I missed a lot of days of school. Called my mom to pick me up a lot. She didn't end up going a lot. I missed a lot of days of school at this point. And I also, was that before or after? That was after. I missed a lot of days of school. And so my mom literally had to like go and like, please, literally, she needs to stay off. And so finally the principal, I think she like really had to beg him. The principal was like, yeah, okay. And so I had to take like all the finals before whatever. And then I missed the last day of school. And I go to this surgery. It's, again, 3.5 hours away. I go to this surgery. I'm like low-key nervous. Whatever. But I get the surgery done. And I wake up. And again, obviously you're put under anesthesia, whatever. Full everything you put under. I wake up and I'm like in the like ER room, whatever it was. And waking up from that drug, I freaked out. Because also, I guess it did take long enough to where they had to put like the things on your legs. They have to put stuff on your legs so that like your legs don't like fall asleep and it like damages your nerves or whatever. And so I wake up and that's on my legs, and I have like the blanket on and everything, and I just woke up from this drug and I freak out because I'm hot, and like obviously my face is huge and I'm like overwhelmed, and I'm like, so I did have a panic. I did have a panic attack. You know I did. And I freaked out, and then my mom came and like I calmed down. I think I fell asleep. Honestly, I don't remember, but like she like calmed me down, and I think I fell asleep. I wake up and I'm in like a hospital room, right? You have to stay overnight for the surgery. So I was in a hospital room. My mom stayed and my grandpa stayed with me. The medicine they gave me, because I have to take my pain medicine, made me have to pee. So I'm not lying. I had to get up and go pee every like 40 minutes. And I hate being like in people's way and like annoying people. So having to like ask the nurse, because yeah, I had asked the nurse, having to ask the nurse so that I could get up to go pee every time truly was like the worst thing ever. And I'm just like, at this point I did not know what I looked like at all, but I'm just like, I felt like so, obviously I felt like crap, not even in pain, just like so uncomfortable. Like now I know why, because I know what I looked like. I'm not gonna include that in this, but like I know why. My face was huge, so I was so uncomfortable. And like whatever, finally, after a night of waking up so many times, I have to go pee, I wake up and we get to go in the morning. We get to leave. So whatever, don't remember any of the drive. I get into the car, pass out. I don't remember any of the drive. Okay? Recovery. We're gonna get onto the full thing now we should talk about like right after. I'm gonna tell you all the stuff. Okay, recovery. Get home, overwhelmed. I don't remember like most of it, to be honest. Obviously, I was on pain pills. I remember like the few days after, like the first couple days, I only remember like getting home and like trying to get comfortable and like being so uncomfortable and like whatever. And then like my mom giving me like medicine and having to wake her up to give me medicine and all that stuff. But I didn't, like whatever. And then I remember, I think maybe it was the same day. Maybe it was the day I got home. I don't remember. Finally looking at the way I looked. Insane. Looking at how I looked after I just got my jaw broken. I finally realized why I was so freaking uncomfortable. So it's like, obviously I'm gonna be uncomfortable. I just got my jaw broken, but I wasn't uncomfortable in the sense of like, ow, like it hurts. I was like, God, I feel so heavy, like so, ew. Whatever, I was like, it's just the drugs. No, my head was like this freaking big. So like finally looking at the pictures, I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And I think after like the second day or whatever, I don't think I felt terrible. It was just like I felt so uncomfortable, but like I was able to like talk or whatever. But the way they do it is I had like rubber bands like keeping my teeth closed. So I couldn't like open up my mouth completely. So like I could still talk and everything, but I couldn't really open up my mouth completely. My lips were huge. My face was puffy. My nose was huge. Like I looked insane. Which again, obviously they broke my jaw. I'm gonna look crazy. Then whenever you do this, you have to put stuff on your face to heal your face, especially my lips. Because in order to do that, they have to like really stretch out my face, obviously. And so you have to put stuff on your lips, okay? You know what they have to put on your lips? It's called bacitracin, okay? So I'm like putting on bacitracin every day, every couple hours, right? Come to find out, your girl's allergic to that. Right, and we didn't realize it took a couple days too. I was like, maybe it was like 2 days or something, I don't know. But putting it on like constantly throughout the day. So it's not like I put it on twice or something. I think I only did it for like 2 days before we realized. But like putting it on multiple times. And then finally I was like, God, I can't breathe. We thought it was just like, obviously I just had this huge surgery. We thought it was just that. But then like I started getting a rash on my face too. And then my mom like had the follow-up like call with my doctor or whatever, and he was like, he had to be, and they were like, that's not normal. Like, she should be able to breathe fine. She shouldn't have a rash. Like, you're probably allergic to it. And yep, I was. Yep. And I had a rash all over my face on top of all that stuff. An allergic reaction on my face. Probably why I couldn't breathe too. That's fun. And so that's that. And then, like I said, your mouth is like pretty much wired shut almost. Could not eat. Could not do anything like that. Before we get on to the whole eating thing, another thing is you have to take pain medicine, obviously. You're in so much pain. And you know what pain medicine you have to take? Because your mouth is wired shut and you can't eat anything? Liquid. You should take liquid pain medicine. So I was taking liquid pain medicine. Half of it with half Capri Sun. With a metal tube. Not a metal tube. But like, as like one of the kind where it's like a tube and you push it down with a long little thingy that I put in my mouth. It's because it had to fit into like the little gap my teeth had. So I had to sit there, and it was like a tube this long, full of medicine that I had to take, like multiple times a day. And I'm telling you, it was the nastiest thing I've ever tasted in my whole entire life. And I can still taste it to this day. I cannot drink Capri Sun because of it. The nastiest thing ever. And I had to take it multiple times a day. And it's still the worst experience of the whole entire thing. Not the rash. Not the broken jaw. Not the puffiness of the face. Not the other side effects, I'll tell you. None of that. The fact that I had to take down medicine, truly terrible. And I had to also take it when I went out places. So for example, I didn't do that often, but for example, let's say I had to go to a follow-up appointment for this surgery. Again, 4 hours away. So I need my medicine, I had to take it with me, and I had to do it there. And also, it's the only way I could drink, really. So I literally had to have that tube with me. I would take that tube with me, and I would take a Capri Sun or something and fill up the tube and drink like that. And I'm not lying. And I still did it because I was thirsty. I wanted to drink. Okay. So that's that. Okay, and then obviously mouth wired shut, your jaw was just broken. So I could not eat. Me and my mom can't really remember the exact time. I want to say for 2 months or something, could not eat any solid food at all. So I was strictly mashed potatoes, chicken noodle soup, applesauce, the whole shebang. I lost a good amount of weight from that. So, hey, should I go on that diet again? No, but I lost a little bit of weight from that. Could not eat anything, so that's what I ate. That was fun. It's a good old time. What else? Had that rash on my face for 2 weeks. 2 weeks after. That was fun. Side effects. I told you I had a hole in the roof of my mouth because, my dad, they didn't fix it. You'd think they'd fix that. They're there already. They didn't fix it, and I think they made it worse because I never had a problem with the hole before. I think because they stretched my mouth, they made it worse. And so now, if I drink liquid and I leave it in my mouth long enough, it comes out of my nose. Isn't that fun? Cereal, out of my nose. And even worse, hot sauce. If I have anything that's spicy and saucy, it's coming out of my nose. Not in a normal way. I'm talking literally drips, especially milk is the worst. And then water, I would do it now, but I'm not going to do that to you guys. I haven't done it in a while either. It's been a hot second since fully leaked. But I'm talking, it will be bad enough to where it literally drips out of my nose, and it's milk, so you could tell it's. And now I'll sneeze if I eat after I eat something like that. And I'll sneeze or blow my nose, and it's in my yeah. That's fun. So yeah, another side effect, like I said, my face is a little uneven. I don't know why they didn't fix that. You think they fixed that? They didn't. My face is a little uneven. Drives me actually up the wall. I can't do anything about it though. I literally got jaw surgery. I can't expect anything more, okay? Now you guys know that story. Fast forward. Still summertime. So we're saying towards the end of summer, okay? It's time for that Harry Styles concert. I had just gotten the surgery. That's why I want to say that I couldn't eat for a month and a half or 2 months after, because I remember after the surgery, I had to eat chicken noodle soup, whatever. Or I think I could eat just right around that same time I was able to eat and everything. So I'm able to go to the concert. That was one thing we were worried about, was is she able to go to this concert? They're she'll be fine. I go to this concert. I'm having the time of my life. Harry Styles looks at me, okay? I'm ignoring everything else. Harry Styles is looking at me. I saw him look at me. It ain't no like, oh, I think he looked at me. Literally saw him look at me and like he's loving the concert, and then the concert ends and I'm like finally realizing my mouth kind of tastes like blood. You know, sometimes your mouth tastes like blood a little bit. My mouth really tasted like blood. And then I was like, God, my mouth tastes like blood. And my friend goes, yeah, looks kind of bloody too. Tell me what I look, and there's literal blood all over my mouth. Not bad enough to look like I just like vampire mode or something, but like enough to like it looked like my mouth was bleeding, because it was. Because I had just gotten jaw surgery. Harry Styles saw me, and I'm pretty sure he looked at me because I had a bloody mouth. Sitting there with bloody lips. Of course he's gonna look at me. So that's how Harry Styles ties into it all, okay? Yeah, bloody mouth at a Harry Styles concert. Yeah. That's fun. But I went to the concert. I had a blast. It's my favorite concert I've ever been to, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I loved that concert. Yeah, that's the story. That's how Harry Styles is tied in with my jaw surgery. Now you guys know like my whole like oral stuff. Like my whole entire journey. So before you comment your mean comment about my teeth, just keep in mind I can't help it. I've had so many issues with my teeth. I can't help it. I'm sorry, okay? They're stained. God forbid. I've got, some problems. Sorry, okay? Anyway, but in hindsight, all that problems, I now have decently straight teeth. They're not perfect. Again, they're stained, whatever. And also, one thing they did do, and she literally told me that it might happen. She's like, yeah, we're literally breaking your jaw, so your face is going to look different, including your nose will probably look different, and your lips might even look different. I wasn't expecting how different it would look. She's like, oh, it just might look a little bit more tipped, and it might look a little bit, your lips might look a little bit more like out, I'm a whole new woman. My nose, that's the slimiest, tiniest little difference. Like she said, it just slightly lifted a little bit because they moved, It's slightly lifted, and that tiny little lift made my nose a little bit better. I don't like my nose still that much, but the difference it made is enough to where I'm not mad about it, It's just a little bit more tilted up and not as flat, And then my lips, they're naturally just a little bit more bigger. Just a tad bit. That's why my friend jokes all the time. Anytime she mentions my lips at all, she's like, I'm still so mad you got plastic surgery for free. She's like, sorry, I got the hiccups. She's like, I can't believe you got a lip filler and a nose job for free still. And I'm like, I also broke my jaw, so you have to deal with it. And that's good, I'm glad with the stuff I got. I got screws in my mouth. That's fun. I can feel them. I can't feel them now, but if I put my finger in my mouth, I can feel the screws. And that's fun. And now I don't have to do any of that surgery again. So, hey, we're living life. And Harry Styles got to see me with my bloody mouth. So that's great. But yeah, that's pretty much my story. I mean, I'm glad I got this one out and I did it all in one video instead of whatever. Because first I was just going to tell you the story about the jaw surgery. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll tell you the story about Harry. And then maybe I'll tell you the story about that. But I'm glad I got it all out in one video. And so you guys can go back and be like, oh, that's what happened, right? If I ever mention it again. But yeah, I think that's it for this podcast episode. We talked, I gave you a lot of info about me, talked a little bit about my history. Yeah. Yeah. One thing I will ask for you guys to do is comment down below your favorite album. I might get to your album eventually. If you comment down below and I see it, there's a chance I'll react to it. Not react to it, but there's a chance I'll give you a little review. Probably won't be a long review, it'll be very short. But I hope you guys like this podcast episode. Subscribe. I do other videos. I do vlogs almost every day, like I said. Expect these podcasts to be once every weekend. That's the plan. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.